What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven once again with some Once Upon a Galaxy, and for our final free captain for the month of January, we have Old MacDonald, which says treasures you find from animals are 1 rarity higher, but they are 2 rarities higher if your board has a full 5 animals. And of course, Old MacDonald's starter deck is also full of animals, with Monstro being a notable standout because if you're picking up animals all game, Monstro is just going to immediately complete and give you a secret rare treasure. Let's see what we can get up to with Old Mac in this one. I think we will start off with a Beanie Baby. No, you know what? I'm going to go for Slappy. I think that is just as good. I don't think that you really have to try super hard to play a bunch of animals in the early game. And I think where you are looking to start to play a bunch of animals is around turn 6 and 7. So that way, if you can grab any treasures from epic animals, those can also become secret rare treasures. Though I also think it's fine to just grab treasures that are 1 rarity higher. That seems totally reasonable. I'm actually going to go for a mysterious egg right here. I think that is pretty good with the gingerbread house. And then we will finish off here with an underdog. So yeah, now the gingerbread house has some bonus stats on it. We lose this fight, unfortunately, but we can heal that heart right back up with a Navi. And you know what else is pretty good with Gingerbread House? Laser Shark. So we'll throw that into the first slot now. That is going to get targeted, but then Slappy gets to survive there, and okay, we lose another half a heart again. But that's fine, we can heal it right back up with Navi again. I will say, as much as I love a turn 2 Mysterious Egg, it is a little bit awkward on a captain where, if this transforms into a non-animal character, and there are a lot of epic animals, which is why I brought up that you might want to look for some golden epic animals. But if we wind up finding a non-animal here, then if we want to keep that on the board, we will never play a board full of 5 animals. So it's a little bit awkward. I also think that Frog Prince is in the Old MacDonald starter deck, which doesn't really make that much sense. But I digress. I mean, Foul Lich is good if we're going to play a bunch of animals, and we kind of want to because we want to play for Monstro in the end game. But I think for now I'm just going to pick up Pan's Shadow and then an Ember for a nice little +2/+1 across the board. Now we are looking to win or tie these fights. At least a tie's a win. We will stay at full health, and our epic card is a Sunflare. Sure, well, that's good with Slappy. We also have a little bit extra stats on it because of Pan's Shadow. And I don't really want Achilles, but I also don't want... I think I'll just take the Minotaur here. Yeah, I just don't want Achilles ever. So we'll start to pick up some animals. We can Navi for the bonus heart. Sure. That's pretty good. Now we can go for a Gemstone Garden and then really start to look into animals. So one thing that I was going to say, it's interesting because we've played a little bit of tempo in the early game and not really focused on the animals aspect of this captain power. I will say sometimes you wind up potentially grabbing an early animal on a captain like this. And I don't have much Old MacDonald experience, but I do have a lot of Trophy Hunter experience from Storybook Brawl, and then also Dungeon Master from Once Upon a Galaxy is basically the same thing as this, just heroes and villains instead of animals. So I think that all of those captains are very much late game captains. So just focusing on tempo in the early game allows you to get to a point where you can potentially make good use of the captain power in the late game. We're going to go for Gemstone Garden because it is so good with animal strategies, and we'll see if that pays off for us. This Sour Patch Kid is huge. We wind up losing half a heart there. But that's not the worst thing. I'm actually thinking about, you know what, let's keep the Minotaur, just because I do really want to find a Mama Bear, and then let's pick up a nameless one. I'm not going to go for the Foul Lich. I am going to go for a Pumpkin Spice Latte to go back to full health, though. Okay, and I think we probably just grow Doe, the nameless one, or the Sunflary. Nothing super impressive here. Let's go over the Sunflary, because we're always keeping that one around for a little while longer. And then next turn, hopefully we can pick up a Papa Bear. I do think we might lose a full heart from this fight. Yeah, we have got some growing to do for sure. Giving Tree, not much, not enough of a combo with Gemstone Garden, I don't think. And I think I'm just going to throw a... Oh, we could go for Pick a Peck of Peppers onto the Minotaur just to find some more animals. Let's try it. I want some animals here, and there are some good epic animals. Papa Bear, definitely chief among them here, and starts to really reward us for going more heavily into an animal synergy, though really, I mean, so does... Oh, we're gonna lose another full heart here, aren't we? Yes, we are. Geez. Okay, well, we have been blessed with a bunch of extra hearts this game, so you know, it's not it feels fair, to be honest. Now I'll probably just cycle through a Shoemaker's Elves. I don't want to toss my Slappy and have like no stats on the board. I do kind of want to play my board like this. So yeah, I'm simply going to cycle through Shoemaker's Elves here, and hopefully giving my front row slots +6/+6 a turn is doing a little something for me. We're going to only lose half a heart on that fight. And now I could find a common treasure with +1/+1. I could pick up a legendary character, which is Kissable. Yeah, it seems like this is what I'm going to go for now. I'm also interested in the animals, but it's also like way too late in the game to really stress about Gemstone Garden. We'll cycle through Ember. We will pick up a Mockingbird. We could go for Bronze Goose as well. I feel like that's pushing my luck. I'm just going to potentially try to grab a treasure off Mockingbird. And now I have to decide, do I want to give all of my animals +2/+3 each turn, or do I want to go for Guardian of the Grove? I think this is a pretty straightforward choice, to be totally honest. We're going to grab Guardian of the Grove, and then I think I'm going to keep the Sunflary for now. You know what? I kind of want to go like this. I'm going to keep the Sunflary, though, like I said, and yeah, okay, it kind of works out because they have ninja in training, so we only wind up getting one attack there anyways, and now we are going to lose another heart and go down to just one. Let's see if we can stabilize. There's a Blind Mouse. That's probably gotta be the pickup here, huh? Could go Cheshire Cat too. I think that this is the most stats because we're giving it an additional +12/+12, so sure. I'll go for Blind Mice, and then I'm simply going to cycle through an epic animal. There are a lot of epic animals. I don't think that we are ever going to be able to stabilize here, but maybe the Blind Mice can do something for us. Okay, yeah, looks like we actually did manage to stabilize and win this fight. Okay, all right. Shoemaker's Elves, I really need to pick up a treasure this turn. Don't think we're going to get there, though, unfortunately. Oh, Monstro. Okay, Monstro. Does Monstro immediately complete? It does. It will complete at the start of the fight, and then we need this to do a lot for us. This will be... So, I've played this entire game up until this point without a Captain Power, and you definitely run the risk of something like this just not having a Captain Power for you if you're not picking up animals super heavily. But it's also not like I picked up that many other treasures. Treasure-centric heroes can sometimes be quite swingy, but hopefully this can swing back in our direction here with a Monstro to grab some benefit from our Captain Power. Looks like we're all right, actually. This Divina is that what this is called? Dravina, is not quite off the ground yet, so we will be able to grab a win, and now we will grab a super secret treasure, 2 levels above legendary. Now, just going to be a secret treasure for us here, but World Shrub puts us back in business. This is really where things can get crazy with Old Mac if we can afford to do this, and I think we can. This will make everything into an animal, and that means that we will always have a board full of 5 animals, and it means that all of our treasures will be 2 rarities higher. I mean, this is giving my whole team +6/+6. This is giving one of my cards, the Papa Bear, +50/+50. Oh, I'm sorry, this gives +100/+100 now. That is actually something that we have to consider. But you know what? I think we will grab a Ring of Power off for our second treasure, because I think that we will be able to find another treasure here. Like, now we can just grab a Slappy or a Shipshape Inspector. Shipshape Inspector gives us a legendary treasure, but we have to replace something on our board with it, which is awkward. So I'm simply going to cycle through Slappy, pick up a rare treasure, and some other treasures were just shifted around in rarity. We can give all of our pirates +6/+6, or we can give all of our cards +5/+5. Let's give all of our pirates +6/+6. Sure. Eureka, while everything is a mage, is totally fine. Goldilocks is also reasonable. And then we have Miss Muffet with Guardian. And with... I'm sorry, Miss Muffet isn't good with Guardian. It's good with Goldilocks. But it is fine with Papa Bear. It's interesting with the Blind Mice as well. I do definitely want to keep playing this. I think I want to keep playing this. So the only thing that we could toss is Monstro, and I don't think I want to do that. We're going to Eureka the Blind Mice for +14. Then I do think I'll get Lost. Ooh, Shadowmancer now is an animal. That is definitely up for consideration. We could also give +1/+1 to Monstro's ability. Peter Pan gets a little silly when it starts to pump up itself, but it will also pump up the Mockingbird's ability, so it's really worth considering. I'm going to cycle through Shadowmancer and hopefully pick up one more treasure this turn. We get there. The Shadowmancer completes. We are going to have to figure out what we're tossing here between Papa Bear, Guardian, Monstro, Mockingbird, Blind Mice. I want to keep Monstro forever because it's just getting bigger and bigger with every single card we pick up. I'm going to toss Papa Bear for a Shadowmancer plus either a doubling cube or I think I'm going to go Bottled Starlight. Not for the if we get first place, but for the +30/+30 across the board. I think that that is where I want to go from here. And then I'm going to do a slight reordering, actually, like this. We are in the top 3. This might be where the buck stops, but hopefully with this buck, we can take it a little bit farther. No, it looks like writing is on the wall here. We are going to lose, unless this is like a crazy pull. No, yeah, we're going to lose a full heart there. Unfortunately, I think that it is kind of a tricky captain to play with. I think that you can take more animals earlier on. I really don't think that that would have helped us. I think that this is basically textbook how you want to play Old MacDonald, including grabbing the Monstro and grabbing the World Shrub, because that's what really takes your game over the top. Like +100 more in stats from the Ring of Power was not going to save us that game. We needed to really turn this into a crazy high roll. Maybe I didn't need to go for the Shadowmancer, but I don't know. I think that I played this nearly as good as I could have, but let me know if you think I could have done some other things differently. We've got another crack at Old Mac here, so let's give it a go. And to start off with, I mean, Hamstar is a totally solid animal. Don't really want to play the Beanie Baby. There's actually a lot of bad animals in Old Mac's starter deck that I don't think are particularly well suited for the captain. I do think that Beanie Baby is fine though, I guess, because it's tempo and you do want some tempo, so that way you actually have a shot at using your captain power. Mysterious Egg on turn 2 is always a nice come up, but I think for the reasons that I said in the previous game, it's just not something I really want to mess around with on this captain. So the options are Underdog for an animal, which is not a card that I play with super often and could be reasonable. Or we just take Wind Up Toy, which is like much more consistent. But let's check out Underdog, because I wonder how Underdog is going to do for us, and it's cool to play with some cards that you don't often otherwise get to battle with. I think Underdog going to go down there, unfortunately, but we do still grab a tie, and now we can grab a Baby Bear on turn 3. Picking up a Pied Piper on 2.2 is really solid because then you have access to both Baby Bear and Hungry Hyena, and I will probably toss the Underdog for a Pyrat at this point. Yeah, I don't see any real need to keep that around, but a board full of animals feels pretty good. We are pumping up the Hamstar additionally as well, and Pyrat gets to trade there. Baby Bear will make it. Oh, I tried to will it into existence there. We lose a full heart, which feels super punishing because it doesn't feel like we're that weak right now. But obviously we're not that strong either. Let's just meet a random card in the tavern, hope that it is exactly a Hungry Hyena. That is beautiful. I'm going to pump up this slot for a potential future fill, and Flying Monkey does get to do some nice combat there, and the Hungry Hyena with the Twinkle Twinkle is definitely solid as well. Yeah, I mean, we could build our own what's it called? Ninja Turtle. Mimic is also not a card that I typically put in my decks. I don't think it's that great. But otherwise, I'm just like Presence of Gaia-ing on a Hamstar slot, which... I think I'll do that. I think I will just go for a +3/+3 spell here. I could use those slot buffs on Mr. Fox. I will say, Mr. Fox, I don't know if is a card also that I would keep in a Old MacDonald deck eventually. I think that this would also be on the cutting board because this is not really a tempo card. It is going to grab me a treasure here, which is nice because I was well set up for it. And I'm well set up for it for playing a board full of animals. This is cool to have an example game where we have the board full of animals as opposed to the previous one. Here I could grab 2 different options for rare treasures, which is funny. And I think we will just cycle through the Flying Monkey because that allows us to keep a... Oh no, yeah. This would make it so that we aren't playing a board full of 5 animals, but here we can cycle through the Flying Monkey. I don't even remember. I know we got a Monstro in the last video. I don't know how much other ways that we used our Captain Power though, and I'm going to take a Flock of Mimics to hopefully do some nice work with some other treasures going forward. This combat looks fine for us for right now. Yeah, we're going to get the hunt, and then we are going to actually grab another win. Moving into turn 7 with 2 hearts, not that bad, ultimately here. Probably throwing a Anna Bunny in the Pyrat slot. No, you know what? This is what I'm doing. Yeah, let's just pump up that. And now I could Grotto on the Mr. Fox, or I could just do nothing. And this is a pumped up Grotto with the Masterwork Scrolls. I think it's the best option that I have in this shop. Like I said, I don't typically like to go all in on Mr. Fox, though. It's not terrible for tempo to cast a spell, right? So I guess it's kind of pushing me in the right direction for weird reasons and encouraging me to play some more tempo here. We lose that fight. We will just meet in a tavern and see an Angelica, which is also a card that I typically enjoy. But I think I'm just going to keep rocking with the animals and then Giant Growth Mr. Fox. I don't know. Maybe this is a crazy game plan that we got going on here. Ticking Time Top could give us another treasure soon if we wind up losing another fight. Or did we get no, I think because this has a 1 on it, we have not utilized it yet. Oh, I lost that fight? Oh, I wasn't even paying attention, but apparently we lost that fight. So Okay, I'm a little bit twisted around here in the commentary, but Mama Bear is a little late in the game, really. We might just want Bronze Goose. Bronze Goose to lead us into a secret rare treasure could certainly be the pickup right now. 24-4. We're 35-17. We'll go for this for more stats. And now Snapping Hydra joins us. Okay, that is really good. The Mr. Fox is good stats at this point because we have spent so much time pumping it up with spells, but I definitely want the Snapping Hydra in here. Hopefully this is enough to allow us to stabilize. It does look like it will be potentially, but this is going to be a close fight. That was a good combat. That needed to go here. Oof, and we miss on the last second. So kind of a bummer, but secret rare treasure. Okay, let's see what you got, old Mac. We do find the World Shrub. That would make everything an animal. Weren't we given this exact same choice in the last video? Ring of Power versus World Shrub? We were, weren't we? Everything as an animal is so cool. Ring of Power, I think, is needed here. The biggest consideration is I'm getting 2 copies of this treasure. And if I'm getting 2 copies, I think that I need to make use of that by grabbing plus 200 each fight. I think that that could certainly get us in the game here for real. I'm going to actually move out of animals now that I have done something with my life. I'm going to pick up Captain Hook. It's going to pump up both of these. We need to take a second and sort of just play this mini game of like, how do we get the cards that we want pumped up? This will pump up Hungry Hyena and Captain Hook. Hungry Hyena, so the front row slot, this is the biggest slot. Oh, and this slot's bigger too? Oh, because of the Pyrat. Sure, yeah, so 29, 25, and then 32, 32. So if we throw our smaller cards in both of these 2 slots, then we can actually get a plus 100 on Captain Hook, which is definitely something that could be powerful, and looks like we need something that could be powerful. This opponent looks big. We don't quite grab the 2-for-1 on our Hydra, but we do grab the 2-for-1 there with that plus 100 Captain Hook, which is just enough to get us a tie there. Plus, we are able to grab a hunt with Mr. Fox. So that is really solid. We are going to be pumping up Mr. Fox this turn for sure, and then we'll pump up whatever else we wind up taking. I think we just grab a Nessie here. And then, yeah, this is not an animal, but it could become an animal later on in the game, as silly as that to say. I want to put my Captain Hook here so that way it's guaranteed to hunt, and then, yeah, nothing else is really going to matter this fight. I'm going to cycle through a 2-headed dragon. I think this will be enough. Paul Bunyan is big, but we are able to take it down, and then Mr. Fox is able to grab a hunt, so we won't even need to hunt there with Captain Hook. We heal up back to 1 heart, and now, can we pull out of this? I think I'm going to cycle through Nessie because it builds towards a secret rare treasure. And I think I'm going to Stroke of Midnight because it might keep me in the game for 1 more turn. I don't think I ever can Conan. You know what we could do, though? We could cycle through Conan so that way it is silver if we happen to find a World Shrub off of this Nessie. How is Snapping Hydra looking for us? Good, actually. We don't really want to attack into Goodie Bag. I'd love to attack into picks, actually. Oh, that's beautiful. 2-for-1, trade off of that. Mr. Fox grabs me Merlin's Tome, and we grab a win and a kill onto this Merrily, right? Yeah, and a kill onto this Merrily. Beautiful, baby, beautiful. Maybe the mistake in the first game, I do believe I had the exact same decision between Rings of Power and World Shrub, and I went with World Shrub in the first game, but this time we're going for the rings, and it is working out nicely. Now, this fight, we're going to pump up Captain Hook and Nessie. If we replace Hungry Hyena, it'll be Captain Hook plus Hungry Hyena. We could look to do so. Obviously, we are encouraged to keep the exact same cards for the rest of this game, so that way we can get the most uses out of our Rings of Power. I suppose we could just cycle through a Jabberwocky and maybe grab another copy of it later. A treasure, you say? Well, I'm a little bit afeared. I don't actually know how much time is left in this game. Like, is there a chance that we win this fight? Yes. Okay. So let's go out of it with this board. I think that this makes the most sense, win or lose. If this, Cup is too strong, maybe we will just lose with this board. Though I think there is a chance that we just win the lobby right here as well. Let's see. We steal a Ring of Valor, and no, we are going to a turn 14. Nice. Okay, one thing I did not consider, actually, with Conan. This completes, because this will get plus 100. I'm doing it because it's cool, not because it is necessarily good, because the lobbies, this is the last turn for the lobbies, so it's a little bit silly. And then we can also throw Mr. Fox right here, and Captain Hook will get the... Actually, we can throw Mr. Fox... Okay, let's cast Grotto on Mr. Fox. Now, the first pump goes onto Conan, the second pump goes onto Captain Hook, and you know what? Maybe we have also found a World Shrub. Oh, we're still 2xing this? Oh, that's so funny. We might as well finish off with a World Shrub. Maybe there's a chance that we tie this combat, and I do want to grab another secret rare treasure off of Conan. I think that that just makes sense, and we will finish off there with a Long John Silver. I'm hoping for a tie. A tie would be wonderful. Okay, maybe I don't want to get too risky here. Oh, we lose. Bummer. Okay, well, I much would have rather preferred a win, but I will take a second place finish here with Old Mac. Do we unlock any new animals this game? No, not quite. So I don't know how much more I'm going to play Old Mac. Mostly because his starter deck is kind of a bummer, I think, but I'm happy that I was able to show off 2 reasonable finishes, and at the very least, some cool stuff that this captain can do. But for today, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.